most important thing, okay, Reich was the one who realized that human beings are pack predators, and that basically every time you create an institution, it has a pack predator mentality.
Wasn't he a psychologist?
He was a psychologist who was kicked out of the Freudians because he didn't believe in the death instinct. So he became a Marxist and tried to keep the Nazis from taking power in Germany, until after the election he was told by the Marxist he would be the first revisionist to be shot after the revolution.
Oh, what an honor.
Then he decided that there wasn't that much difference between Nazism and Stalinism, and they were both pack predators, and he went, voila! That's it! They're all pack predators.
Uh-huh.
It's not the death instinct, it's the death habit. He got a little bit overboard about it. The biggest question with Reich is when he went crazy. Did he go crazy like Freud said before Freud excommunicated him, or did he go crazy when he was locked up by the U.S. government after being subjected to the biggest book-burning and intellectual witch hunt in American history focused on a single individual? Could have been at any point in there. Probably before he saw the UFOs.
Okay.
Although
he saw
32
UFOs?
other people saw the UFOs at the same time.
Well, tell me about that.
He was trying to use his Orgone energy accumulator, for which he was accused of being a cancer quack, although he said it didn't cure cancer. He was accused of saying it did, and therefore all of his work was destroyed. He was using it to try to cure drought in Arizona. And something like 32 people saw the UFOs buzz the Orgone research station in Arizona and be chased off by U.S. Air Force airplanes.
Is this a documented fact?
Documented in the sense that there were 32 people there, and several of them said we saw it, and none of them have said we didn't see it. They're making it all up.
Oh.
The U.S. government denies that there were any airplanes of the Air Force in that area, but, you know.
No, we're talking about Wilhelm Reich was one of those 32?
Was one of the 32.
Did he write about it?
His son did, who was 12 years old at the time.
And what was the UFO? Why was there aliens there?
At this point, Reich had become convinced that the Earth was under extraterrestrial attack.
In what way?
Well, he, at this point, was theorizing that smog was the exhaust of UFOs. He had a theory that there is a life energy that is present in everything from stars to stones. And naturally, it's more concentrated the more evolved and developed and organized the life. And naturally, there are life forms far more organized and evolved than are on Earth.
I think there's a UFO passing, or maybe it's just a regular old plane, huh?
Well, as long as I can't identify it, it's a UFO. But one of the evidences of it was Reich said that one could, if one laid down on the ground and stared at the blue sky on a clear day like this long enough, one would perceive bands of energy, of no color, just a pattern flowing across the sky in several bands. And he said he'd noticed these when he was a child, and he'd continued to observe them all his life, and he'd wondered why other people didn't see them, except for children mostly.
So he could see energy.
He also said they were fraying.
They were what?
Fraying. Coming apart.
Frayed and coming apart.
Fraying. And when I was a child, I could see them also, and I could see them breaking up. And my older brother said he had seen them, and that they had definitely broken up more in the time that he had lived, the 5 years more that he had watched.
Bands of energy, totally
totally
separate from clouds.
Gone now.
Not clouds or anything to do with them, just bands.
Something like ley line force, chakric force. I've heard Orgone, which is what Reich called it, is pretty much the same as Elan Vital or the prana of Hinduism, the chakra energy. He even identified the same 7 chakras without having any exposure to Hindu philosophy at all.
But
As
if
a
you
matter of
can't,
fact, he was deeply embarrassed when they pointed out the relationship. The
you can't
similarity.
see them, so you feel them. Or you sort of see something there.
And that's where we get to Robert Anton Wilson, who is possibly the most perceptive Buddhist the world has ever seen. Basically, it is not that all is sorrow, as Siddhartha said. It is that all is tinged with falseness. That everything we can state, by the mere fact we can state it, is less than the whole and wrong. We live in a holographic universe of 4 dimensions that we can perceive continually rippling in every direction. And yet we speak in this linear, point-by-point, almost unidimensional method, and have to, out of these Lincoln log sentences, construct models of this. So all we have is what is called Maya, or samsara, or to put it in blunt English, lies.